We are waking up this morning after seeing unrest from coast to coast. The country clearly at a tipping point. Dan.
As we said, a wrenching morning in America. Eva, thank you. We'll come back to you soon. Overnight, with those protests raging outside the White House, inside, President Trump was on Twitter threatening to retaliate with, in his words, vicious dogs and ominous weapons. ABC's Cecilia Vega is in Washington with more on that angle. Cecilia, good morning to you.
Hey, Dan, good morning to you. And he continued to tweet late into the night, praising law enforcement, blasting the mayor of Minneapolis, as the president himself, once again, during times of civil unrest in this country, is under fire for stoking division.
Overnight, that chaos erupting just steps from the White House. But a show of force by the president's Make America Great Again supporters did not happen. Earlier in the day, the president essentially inviting those supporters to show up, tweeting, "Tonight, I understand, is MAGA night at the White House." He later denied he was stoking racial tensions.
By the way, they love African-American people. MAGA loves black people.
And in a tweet that critics said evoked images of civil rights-era police sicking dogs on protesters, the president said nobody came close to breaching the fence. If they had, they would have been greeted with the most vicious dogs and most ominous weapons I have ever seen. Also in the president's line of fire, D.C.'s Democratic mayor. He accused her of not letting local police intervene in the protest outside the White House. But that false claim was quickly contradicted, not just by Washington officials, but also the president's own Secret Service, who said D.C. police were indeed very much part of the response.
What used to be heard in dog whistles, we now hear from a bullhorn.
And while President Trump said he did speak with George Floyd's family, Floyd's brother is now speaking out too, saying in that conversation he couldn't even get a word in.
It was so fast, he didn't give me the opportunity to even speak. It was hard. I was trying to talk to him, but he just kept like pushing me off, like, I don't want to hear what you're talking about. And I just told him I want justice.
Okay, we're back now with Cecilia. Cecilia, I want to show you a headline from the New York Times this morning. It reads, "In days of discord, a president fans the flames." How different is this president's leadership style from what we're used to seeing from American presidents in times of crisis?
Oh, completely different from other presidents, Dan, not so different from what we've seen from President Trump in the past. Let me just quickly recap for you a couple of the things that we've seen this week. We had that threat to shoot American citizens, essentially, in a tweet from the president when he said looting, the shooting starts, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That was a reference to a 1960s era racist crackdown on black neighborhoods in Miami. In the face of widespread condemnation, he ultimately started to backtrack on that, but it took him 14 hours to do that. He said that he had been misinterpreted. As we saw cities burning across this country, the president held a Rose Garden event where he called it a press conference. He ended up not taking questions, and he walked out without at all addressing what was happening around the country, or let alone in Minneapolis. He has called these protesters mobs and thugs. And you'll go back a little bit. Remember Charlottesville? He said there were very fine people on both sides when we were talking about neo-Nazi protesters there. Dan, what we have seen time and time again from this president is that when we are talking about moments of civil unrest in this country, particularly moments like what we are living through right now with great racial tension and pain from coast to coast, we've seen a president who frankly has fanned the flames and capitalized on division rather than unity.
We are at such a difficult point in American history between this and the pandemic. Cecilia, we appreciate you covering every step of it. Cecilia Vega weighing in from Washington this morning.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.